Welcome, my name is Barney Reese. I'm the author of How Blessed You Are in God's Promises. This is chapter 43, part 2. Part 2, and this is going to be your protection. I will try to explain the Creator universe loves you unconditionally and only wants what is best for you. He knows all your needs, desires of your heart, and He has angels watching over you at all times. I think there is a limit to what He will do, but in general, I believe He and His angels watch over us more than we think. I believe that He loves everything that He created, from the very microscopic bacteria and the more complex organism and find being, nor human being as well, as that He made everything for a reason and a purpose. Since I'm not the creator of the universe, I can only tell you what I have learned over the years. The Bible, for instance, is being deleted. It's being changed. You are seeing more false prophets coming about and less of the creator of the universe being done. You're seeing mega churches getting bigger and bigger and doing less for the creator's children. You are seeing children that hate the creator of the universe and rebel every way they can. You are seeing many divorces. You are seeing men and women not trying to populate the earth no more. Instead, it is about their pleasure and their desires. You are seeing people throwing caution to the wind and having unprotected sex, thinking it would not happen to me. You are seeing food companies putting chemicals in our food and changing the name so we do not know what it is. You are seeing our chickens, our beef is being contaminated and some being sprayed with ammonia to kill some of the germs. Before you see the beef in the grocery store, we are having many addicts. Many new synthetic drugs being made and doctors getting patients hooked on prescribed medications. We are hearing preachers that only talk about the good of the Bible. They are skipping around and none of them are doing what they are supposed to. I see this every time I go to church. I know they're getting a 30% tax cut by paying no taxes, and so are the so-called nonprofit organizations, whereas some of the people are getting salaries of $500K or more before one thing is done. For the people, they are raising money for the cause. What about some of the logos that are popping up all of a sudden? The songs that are being played to our children, how we are attached to the cell phones more and more each day. We rarely communicate anymore. How certain diseases are just formed with no explanation. Some of you will read this book and say, I'm angry. And the answer is sometimes I am angry because I see some things that are wrong and I feel helpless sometimes. I sometimes want to shake my fist at the creator of the universe and say, what are you letting this happen? He will answer you because I chose you. See, all the creator of the universe, children, saved or not, I guess this is why I'm writing this book, to warn you, to tell you some of the things that are going wrong in the world today. I will tell you how I think the world should be, in my honest opinion. These churches and nonprofit should be paying taxes. If even one salary paid, all churches should donate a minimum of 40% of all income by helping all of the creator of the universe's children. That is the world, the hospitals, the orphanages, the homeless, the drug addicts, the prostitutes, the single, the widows, the poor, the things that could be done are endless. The broken, the abused wife, the abused children, the hungry. Other countries should help free clinics for the sick, or to have drug help. The single parent children, where the children are trying to do the wrong things. The unwed teenage parents. Help those who get their GED for those who could not go to school. I have been to so many churches that there's some things I see wrong. First of all, we have people with no jobs, no money, and refusing to work because the government is giving them a handout. We have people who have messed their life up with drugs, and now it's our job to take care of them. We have a Congress and president and politicians telling you what you want to hear, but in the end, they are getting a salary for the rest of their lives for serving just one day in Congress. They are not living on Social Security. All congressmen are millionaires. In my opinion, they should have term limits and have to get jobs, not stay in Congress no more. Term limit of 8 years, just the president every 4 years. But you have the power to stop this. You can vote for none of the above and get new ideas in there and make them live on Social Security, not a pension of their salary for life. So on a recap, the creator of the universe has a lot on his plate to do and say. He's trying to protect you from seeing these wolves in sheep clothing, the prosperity preachers, the corrupt politicians, the evil corporations, the ones that are slowly teaching your children how to be more sexual at a very young age. They're no longer about trying to reproduce. That marriage is no longer secret. That is not counting the wealthy, weather, people praying for miracles, people trying to beat addiction, church telling lies or twisting it for their own selfish needs, nonprofit organizations not paying taxes but getting huge salaries. This includes Boy Scouts, the football, basketball, or other pro athletes. Some pay no taxes, call them nonprofit. I'm not here to ridicule, just open your eyes so you can see and tell you to be a good restorative what the creator of the universe gives you. Do not just give to one source and expect what your job is done. And still pray before you give. Look before you give. Ask before you give. Research before you give. I see more self-centeredness than I have seen in years. It's all about getting rich. Most young ladies nowadays go after the bad boys or the rich guys. Our youth are following role models that represent drugs, power, money, and fame. We have children going to school and studying for jobs in colleges that are no longer stateside, but overseas. This is not counting how our swamp has our swamps, how our rainforests, tundras, or other natural sources are being used, how our oceans are being polluted, and the list could go on. The creator of the universe knows before you were formed in the womb. He gives you free will. He protects you even when you do not know He is protecting you. He provides all your needs. He will give you desires of your heart. He expects you to give a tenth of what you can do it of to all of His children, not money. If churches believe this, why not give a love offering after service, not during, if they believe what the creator of the universe will provide all their needs? Why not trust Him? I would rather be a good steward to what I have and be a cheerful giver than give to a corrupt church or nonprofit organization. All you have to do is look around, and if you only give to one entity, I'm sorry to say you are not doing God's work, only what me, I, or you have decided. I assure you, I would be hated for speaking my mind, my opinion, by some, but by others I would be adored and admired. However, I believe the Creator is leading me to write this book for the world, so that you know the truth about Him and what He expects of you, and what is to glorify Him with all you have. Be good stewards and give to my children a tenth of you. Some of you are teachers, some of you are rich, some of you are doctors, lawyers, accountants, construction workers, free thinkers, prostitutes, pimps, artists, philosophers. Some of you are reading this book and ready to end it all. Some of you have never done nothing for anybody, but the church and the creative universe has tested you again and again, but you have always given to one entity, and sadly you are at the end of your life. And since you have only helped one entity to get bigger, you did give your life to Jesus and was saved, but you decided to only help your church. Although he was a great preacher, he did not teach you about helping others, and that for everything you did in a good deed, it would be building a house in heaven. But sadly, you will only have a tent in heaven when you die. Chapter 44, provisions. God will supply all your needs if you ask and believe. He knows your needs better than you do. His ways are above our ways, and His thoughts are above our thoughts. Just trust and believe. He will see you through before your thoughts and dreams will come true if you ask and believe. Deuteronomy 8:7. For the Lord your God is bringing you into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of fountains and springs, and the flow out of valleys and hills. A land of wheat and barley, of vines and fig trees and pomegranates, and lands of olive and honey. Deuteronomy 8:9, a land in which you will eat bread without scarcity, in which you will lack nothing, a land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills you can dig copper. Deuteronomy 28:3, bless you in the city, and blessed shall you be in the country. Deuteronomy 28:4, blessed shall you be the fruit of your body, the produce of your ground, and the increase of your herds, the increase of your cattle, and the offspring of your flock. Deuteronomy 28:5, blessed shall be your baskets and your kneading bowls. Deuteronomy 28:6, blessed shall be when you come in, and blessed shall be when you go out. Deuteronomy 28:7, the Lord shall cause your enemies who rise against you to be defeated before your face. They shall come out against you one way and flee before you 7 ways. Deuteronomy 28:8, the Lord will command the blessings on you in your storehouse and all to which you set your hand. He will bless you in the land which your Lord your God has given you. Kings 17:14, for thus says the Lord of Israel, the bins of flour shall not be used up, or not shall the jar of oil not run dry until the day the Lord sends rain on the earth. 1 Kings 17:15, so she went away and did according to the word of Elijah, and she and he and her household ate for many days. 1 Kings 17:16, the bin of flour was not used, nor did the jar of oil run dry, according to the word of the Lord, which he spoke by Elijah. Psalms 37:3, trust in the Lord, do good, dwell in the land, and feed on His faithfulness. Psalms 37:4, delight yourself also in the Lord, and He shall give you the desires of your heart. Psalms 37:23, the steps of the good man are ordered by the Lord, and He delights in His ways. Psalms 37:24, although he falls, he shall not be utterly set down, for the Lord upheld him in His hand. Psalms 37:25, I have been young, and now I am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his descendants begging bread. Psalms 37:26, he is ever merciful and lends, and his descendants are blessed. Psalms 37:27, depart from evil and do good, and dwell forevermore. Psalms 37:28, for the Lord loves justice, does not forsake His saints. They are perverse forever, but the descendants of this wicked shall be cut off. Psalms 37:29, the righteous shall inherit the land and dwell in forever miss. Psalms 37:30. The mouth of the righteous speak wisdom, and his tongues tell of justice. Psalms 37:31. The law of the God is heart, none of his steps